6 new game-changing minis are coming to Clash Mini, and they could be some of the strongest minis on launch, but you need to really understand their abilities and synergies to discover their true strength and fully utilize them, especially the last mini, which is gonna make you have nightmares. But let's start this mini news with the Battle Boxer, a new 5 Elixir, you heard that right, 5 Elixir mini. So let's see if her abilities are worth it. She has a super that deals a whopping 20 damage in a 3x3 area. This means that she can damage minis 2 tiles behind her target and potentially the enemy's ranged minis. And this can one-shot minis like the Healing Ranger, Musketeer, and the Princess, which I'll talk about later. But it takes almost 3 seconds to cast her super, so it makes her especially vulnerable to stuns, which will reset the super animation. And also, the direction she faces when supering is also very important, so you have to make sure she faces forward when she supers to snipe the enemy backline effectively. The first star doubles her super damage to 40 damage, making her one-shot so many more minis, and making the third row immediately dangerous to the enemy. And the second star gives her a shield of 6 HP, and immunity to stuns and slows when casting her super, which means that you can basically forget what I said about being vulnerable to stuns. For the first star, once she reaches 50% HP, she rises to heaven for 4 seconds, literally, where it's as if she doesn't exist on the board, and she gets 40% heal in heaven, and after she descends, she gets a 30% attack speed buff for the rest of the round. I don't have to tell you that this is insane, do I? And paired up with the second star, she just gets so much survivability. But just a reminder, all of these stars cost 5 elixirs, so it is natural that these abilities are stronger than what we're used to. And she belongs in the Saint class. Then we have the Diffuser, and it's a sentient elixir bottle? So it's a 2 elixir melee mini, and if you 3-star it, which costs 8 elixir, you can sell it back to the shop and get 10 elixir back, and that means you get 2 elixir profit, and that makes him one of the 2 minis that you can actually sell in later rounds, along with the decoy. But obviously you can't sell it before you get him to 3 stars. Apart from getting you elixir, it can actually also be used in ways similar to the decoy's beating stick, because it has the flexibility to move. So you can sell and place it again to block a prince shot or tank versus a miner when you have no other options. Now you might think, because the point of the diffuser is just to 3-star him, why does each star ability even matter? You are kinda right, but it's still helpful to know which star to go for when you end up only getting like 1 or 2-star diffuser after a round. So the first star gives you plus 0.3 extra attack speed from 0.7 to 1. So this is probably the most useless star upgrade because you're not going to use him for damage anyway. The second star gives him 10 more HP from 18 to 28. This can actually be useful for tanking miner shots or prince charges, stuff like that. And the third star disarms the target for 3 seconds every 4 hits. So it is kind of like a stun. The enemy cannot attack, but they can still move or cast their supers. But this doesn't mean that they can retarget though. So this can be massive versus minis that rely on their main attack, like the P.E.K.K.A or the mini P.E.K.K.A, and it's also useful versus minis with a something after X attack ability, like the Royal Ghost and the Giant, which I'll talk about later. The Diffuser is in the Elixir class along with the Elixir Golem from Clash Royale. He is a 4 Elixir melee mini, and when he dies, he gives 3 Elixir to yourself, but also the enemy. But keep in mind that you are the player using 4 Elixir to place this down, so when it's killed, you're still losing 1 elixir. So before you use it, you need to think if the enemy will benefit from that elixir more than you, or maybe you got something to upgrade that will decimate the enemy. The first star doubles the elixir to 6 elixir, but of course you need to invest 4 more elixir into him to get this, so it's kind of a bigger risk, bigger reward situation. The second star gives him plus 2 HP for every 2 elixir that's saved up, and the third star gives him plus 1 attack damage for every 3 elixir that is saved up. So this can synergize very well with the Pink Furry because they both need elixir saved up to do well, so he'll probably be very weak overall, unless you use an elixir focused deck, and that is when he can really shine. But before we get to the last mini, which is so strong that it will make you have nightmares, here is the Sailor, a 3 elixir range mini. Her super deals 4 damage and leaps 1 tile away from her target using her seal, kind of like a reverse musketeer. The tile she leaps to still has to be in range of the target though, so if she's already at max range, she'll actually leap forward. This means that you can actually get away with putting her towards the front because she'll she'll just slowly move backward with her super. And this could be useful at dodging miners or the Wave Master clash. The first star makes her super damage stack every super, so it'll be 4 damage, then 6, then 8, 10, etc. And this can ramp up very quickly because her super only needs 3 energy, leading to massive damage at Frenzy. And this can pair well with the second star, which is a boast ability, and it gives her double damage for 6 seconds. So the extra super damage can help her secure the kills and getting the damage buff. The first star makes her super slow the enemies by 30% for 2 seconds, which can seal the enemy's fate. Yeah, okay, I'm reusing my mega minute pun. I mean, I literally have 2 days to finish this video, okay? Then we have the Durian. If you think that this is a giant from Clash of Clans, you'll be wrong, and I'll prove it. The Durian gets 10 extra HP for every round that is on the board, and it starts with 40 HP the round you place him. So every round after that, it'll be 50, then 60, etc. So it's basically a partial star upgrade every single round. So in order to get the most HP, you need to place him in round 1, so he can build up to an insane 80 HP by round 5, same as the 2-star Mega Knight. And if you 3-star the Durian, he gets 125 HP at round 5, making him by far the tankiest mini in Clash Mini. Compare that to the Durian, which is a tropical fruit. The link is pretty simple. It gets bigger as it grows, and it can get pretty huge, like 125 HP huge. For the first star, the Durian's attacks taunt the target for 2 seconds. This means that if the enemy is attacking your damage dealers, the Durian can just punch the enemy and they'll stop attacking the damage dealer and focus on the Durian, which is kind of similar to how we still eat and like Durians, but the taste and the smell. Despite their entire shell being a gigantic sea urchin, the taste is kind of taunting us, isn't it? For the second star, the Durian's attack hits every run around him every 4 hits, and it also deals twice damage, which is 6 damage. This is awesome when the enemy's melee minis are grouped together or if they have the witch. And it's kind of like the Durian smell. If you've ever eaten a Durian, you know what I'm talking about. The smell, it's nowhere near old cheese or tofu. It's just on another level. And you bet everyone will feel the pain when you eat a Durian. For the first star, the Durian gets 2 times damage at round 5. This could be quite scary because he will probably have over 100 HP at round 5. So this means that the second star will now deal 12 damage at round 5. The connection here is pretty simple. The spikes are just gonna get bigger as the Durian grows bigger, and you bet the smell is also gonna get bigger as well. So, and that is the real killer. So here are my arguments that the new mini is called the Durian. So remember, when you're chatting or posting on social media, the new mini is called a Durian. And now I saved the best, or actually worst, for last. The mini that's gonna cause you nightmares is the Princess. She's 5 Elixir, and for her super, she fires fireworks that targets 3 random enemies, dealing 8 damage in the 3x3 area surrounding the target. And the damage can stack, so if you group your minis together, they have potential to be dealt 24 damage, or left down to chance whether the Princess targets the range minis that you grouped up at the back. So putting a mini as bait at the other side might not even consistently work. But if that's not bad enough, first star makes that 14 damage. So if you group your minis and got unlucky, that could be 28, or at worst case, 52 damage. 52 damage can literally one-shot kill every single ranged mini at 3 stars, except for the Princess herself at 3 stars. And even 28 damage as a backline is something that is just so crazy. But it gets worse. The second star gives the super anti-heal and burns enemies for 1 damage per second for 6 seconds. This star alone can literally make healing decks useless, and the burn means that combined with the first star, even if the minis aren't being grouped up, they will lose 20 HP by the super. And the third star just makes it more frequent because it gives the Princess free energy over 3 seconds after casting her super, so she basically gets to cycle her deadly super over and over. I wasn't joking when I said this will cause you nightmares. I've single-handedly won other YouTubers on the dev build just using a 3-star Princess, and vice versa, because the entire board is just basically gone after 2 supers. So it is that bad. So just PSA, Princess is gonna be the next royal ghost of this update.